Today in Washington. Admiral Mike Mullen yesterday warned of calamitous consequences if Iran were to acquire a nuclear weapon. Speaking before the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, the top U.S. military officer also said that major powers must work together to prevent that scenario. He suggested that a nuclear-armed Tehran would likely trigger a nuclear arms race in the Middle East, as its neighbors would feel exposed and deficient. Mullen warned that such an arms buildup could be absolutely disastrous. Mullen spoke a day after Iran announced that it had test-fired a new medium-range surface-to-surface missile, which analysts say could hit Israel and U.S. bases in the region. The U.S. Senate last night approved a $91.3 billion measure for military and diplomatic operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. The spending bill, approved on an 86-3 vote, must now be reconciled with a similar measure passed in the House of Representatives, which approved $96.7 billion in funding. Once approved, that bill will likely bring America's cost of the two wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to over $900 billion. While the senators backed President Obama's efforts to ramp up the war in Afghanistan, they left out the $80 million he wanted to close the U.S. detention facility at Guantanamo Bay. President Barack Obama will deliver the commencement speech at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland today. Obama intends to tell the graduates that his administration will invest in not just weapons, but also in military personnel in America's fight against threats to national security. He's also expected to praise the graduates for embracing the virtues we need most right now, including self-discipline over self-interest and country over self. The speech will be Obama's first military academy graduation address as Commander-in-Chief. These stories and more at televisionwashington.com.